Throughout the 20-year-long history of Yu-Gi-Oh! There have been many powerful cards, both on a competitive and non-competitive level. Cards such as Thunder Dragon Colossus, Borosaur Dragon, and Fantastical Dragon Phantasme are all seeing high levels of play in the current TCG metagame, and for good reason. On the other side of the coin, you have cards such as the 3 Egyptian God cards, Slifer the Sky Dragon, Obelisk the Torment, and the Winged Dragon of Ra, in addition to things like Exodia Forbidden One that do nothing to appease the competitive audience of 2019, but remind us that if you're living in ancient Egypt, or are forced to play a children's card game in order to save the world, then you can always rely on these powerhouses to aid you in your quest for victory. Today I want to talk about one such card that us TCG players have never got the chance to use in a real life duel. A card so powerful that Konami have decided for countless years to not print it in the TCG, or even reprint it in the OCG beyond its initial release way back in 1999. That card is Tatsunoko Toshigo. Don't believe me? Well, just take a look at some people's opinions of the card from reputable Duel Links forum site GameA.com. Tatsunoko Toshigo needs to be limited at 1, there are just no counters to this deck. Why is this card still not banned? Too OP for the current meta. How this card keeps slipping the ban hammer? They'll have Kawakis but not this? As you can see, people really don't like Tatsunoko Toshigo. So, what's so great about him? Tatsunoko Toshigo is a level 5 vanilla Earth-type monster with a formidable 1350 attack and 1600 defense. His flavor text reads, a bizarre monster with the torso of a horse and a fish's tail. It gallops through the sea as if it were the wind. In fact, this card is so powerful that it is one of the only cards on Konami's official Japanese database to not have any ruling specific to the card, mostly due to the fact that to this very day, no one has actually been able to summon it in a legal OCG tournament, but still, the fact remains. Tatsunoko Toshigo was released as a common card on July 5th, 1999 in the OCG Booster Set 3. This set introduced classic cards like Ultimate Offering, Reinforcements, and Castle Walls to the game, and as of April 1st, 2019, there are still 14 cards from this set, including Tatsunoko Toshigo himself, that have yet to see release in the TCG. This card was then reprinted just over a year later on September 9th, 2000 in Booster R2, which was a reprint set of other classic Yu-Gi-Oh cards such as Gaia the Dragon Champion and Graceful Charity, cards which would become synonymous with the early era of the Yu-Gi-Oh trading card game and anime. Since then, Tatsunoko Toshigo would go on to star in many Yu-Gi-Oh video games, the first being Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters 2 Dark Duel Stories on the Game Boy Color. The game released exclusively in Japan on July 8, 1999, meaning that just 3 days after its OCG legal release, Tatsu found himself in the big leagues, debuting on a game that ended up selling over 1.4 million copies and earning itself the title of the 40th best-selling Game Boy video game worldwide. The game had an interesting battle mechanic in that certain card alignments automatically beat others in battle, regardless of attack or defense points. Unlike its OCG counterpart, Tatsu fell under the water alignment, meaning that any fire-type monster you faced in battle would instantly fall under the sheer might of this beast. Additionally, no tributes were required in this game, much like the rules used in the Duelist Kingdom arc from the anime, so Tatsu was incredibly easy to summon and wield at the time. Since the Game Boy Color lacked enough computational power to render Tatsunoko Toshigo in its full glory, its card artwork was a lot less unique and expressive but more clearly showed its dual nature of being both a sea creature and a horse. However, I think we can all agree that the OCG artwork is far superior in pretty much every respect. The rest of his personal history in regards to his appearances in Yu-Gi-Oh video games is mostly a mystery, though we do know some details of this elusive creature's forgotten past. In 2002, he finally made his way out of Japan and into the realm of 3D in the USA and Europe with the release of Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories on the PlayStation 1, and was used by the ever-popular legendary duelist Tristan Taylor in the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2004 tournament video game on the Game Boy Advance. Since then, he has appeared in almost every single Yu-Gi-Oh! Video game produced in Japan, including the ever-popular Tag Force series. Unfortunately for some, however, he wasn't available as a romanceable character in those games. So, an opportunity missed there, Konami. Over the years, researchers have struggled to determine exactly what defines the creature known as Tatsunoko Toshigo. In 1999, it was described to be a bizarre monster with the torso of a horse and a fish's tail. It gallops through the sea as if it were the wind. In 2002, the creature was deemed not bizarre, but since researchers had not yet managed to find one in the wild, they were unable to confirm its movement patterns. As such, its description was updated to just a fast-moving sea monster that has the body of a horse and of a fish. In 2004, the research team took a break to travel along the Destiny board, an ancient game that would pit the researchers against one another in battle. The legendary creature appeared once again and was described to be a monster with the body of both a horse and a fish, darts through the seas like an arrow through the air. Clearly, over the span of almost 5 years, the mighty Tatsunoko Toshigo had developed its mobility skills, and was now a much faster, and thus more dangerous threat than once before. And then, everything went silent. Years later, Tatsuno Toshigo resurfaced in Yu-Gi-Oh! BAM, a free-to-play browser game that took all the rules of the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG and threw them right out the window and into the trash, which is ultimately where this game belongs. However, over those years he spent away, Tatsu evolved. He was no longer a vanilla monster with no effect. He had grown. He had evolved into a 6-star monster. He had the ability to increase his own power whenever his master lost life, and was able to suck the life force out of the opposing monster in battle. Tatsu also got the fame he truly deserved, and was recognized for his sheer power by being rewarded with the BAM Legend rarity, meaning you had a 1 in 24 pack chance to pull him from a selection of 5 BAM Legends in a certain set. But BAM was due to fail, and so, like the game, Tatsuno Toshigo faded away from the memories of the players.
With no monsters left on the field, I summon Dark Magician. Declare direct attack.
Ah, you got me.
Told Joe's the master.
GG.
GG. I gotta bounce, guys.
All right, man.
However, in late 2016, he resurfaced one last time with the arrival of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links as a normal rarity card drop from facing the legendary duelist Seto Kaiba at the Duel Gate. Tatsuno Toshigo and Seto Kaiba have a special connection, you see. Now, in Japan, Tatsuno Toshigo is directly translatable as Seahorse, which is a very apt description of this creature and its card art. However, if you take the Japanese characters for sea and horse separately, and then combine them together, you actually get the Japanese word for Kaiba. Huh. This would explain those fake cards you see back in the day where Seto Kaiba's name is translated as Seahorse, and it seems completely bonkers, but now everything is starting to make a little bit more sense. Well, kinda. According to my extensive research, the phrase Tatsu no Otoshigo has a little more literal meaning behind it. Tatsu refers to dragon, no is a possessive, and Otoshigo means bastard in the sense of illegitimate heir or child. As such, Tatsuno Toshigo, despite being the most powerful monster in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, just isn't enough for Seto Kaiba because seahorses are the illegitimate children of dragons, and we all know just how much he loves his dragons. So in spite of this, Seto Kaiba isn't actually the current master of Tatsuno Toshigo. That honor goes to his younger brother, Mokuba Kaiba, who actually has a voice line upon summoning and attacking with Tatsuno Toshigo. Take a listen.
Try this on for size. Tatsu no Otoshigo! Let's battle. Attack! Tatsu no Otoshigo!
And if you ever wondered how you could wield the power of Tatsuno Toshigo for yourself, well, I'll give you a bit of a hint. Use Gold Sarcophagus to banish your Tatsu from the deck, then use Unicorn Beacon to special summon it from the banished zone, or you could use Cosmic Brain and invoke the powers of a mighty magician to special summon it for you. That could be a good way of going about it. But whatever you decide to do, thank you for making it all the way to the end of this awfully convoluted video about half fish, half horse, which did start out as an April Fool's video, but then turned into this thing, which I think is a little bit more, a little bit better quality than I thought I'd be able to put out for a video on April Fool's. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoy. If you want to see more videos like this, more kind of lore-y videos that may or may not be true, then be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next Duel Links video. See you then.
イデオ三原神